I'd like to welcome everybody online. We're going to resume with the new pitches for the new projects, our rogue projects in studio. These are all projects that have not had any development time over these last 15 weeks. They've been outside the studio and they're trying to get in and they're trying to impress us with the stuff they've got going on. So we'll start it off with Christian here.
The madness of our hearts. Did I get that one right?
In our hearts.
Oh, okay, I tried. It just says of our hearts on the paper, so this time it's no, I'm not.
All right. Anyway, hey guys, it's me again. Last time I pitched Companion, it didn't get in, so we took a step back, reworked our formulas, and we came up with this, Companion 2.0 or The Madness in Our Hearts. Now, what exactly is it? It is a survival game, a survival stealth game, based in a fictional city called Lisa's Cradle. It is a game where you as a player have to deal with your own and other people's fears based off of real fears by our developers and outside sources. And it is also an experience that will delve into the embodiment of what makes fear and disorders like none has ever done before. It is also made in the Unreal Engine. This is a little note. What is the gameplay loop? It involves a lot of stealth, a lot of puzzles, and a lot of just simply survival. Things like collecting food, all that stuff is not dumbed down, but simplified to the essence of you don't have to eat for every calorie, you don't have to do that kind of thing, but you do have to make sure you have it on hand in case you need it for trading or certain key events in the story. Insanity is also something that the player must watch out for or potentially tap into. As in a method of your character, has certain moral limits that you can surpass with insanity, as well as you have the power to empathize with these monsters. You can essentially heal them in a way that most games are just simply kill them or destroy them. Let's touch on a little bit on the plot. You play as Lilith, the face given by our own Emily Szymanski, a girl who's actually friends with her own madness, called Eve, and they sort of form a bond, and Eve acts as sort of a tutorial where she will tell you, hey, don't watch out for that, and that kind of thing. The world seems to have gone crazy for no reason at all, and only you can help those people out. What have we done so far? What is the meat of the game here? We have Greybox, the main hub for the player, as well as started the level design for the main first whole quest line. That would be the entire Fatui. We've written the GDD, the art bible, as well as other supplementary concepting materials to allow us to not have to work through that the first few weeks of production. And there's also a growing community for the project. I have pitched this to multiple Discord servers and other sources. We actually have, as you can see here, the 2D reference art on the bottom right there is an Australian artist who is just friends and is interested in the project, so she wrote down a bunch of idea concepts. We're getting those from many sources, so also bring a lot of exposure to the school and just be a good presentation. What are the goals? We are creating the whole first level in the quest loop in 15 weeks. I'm confident we can do that. To have most, if not all, of the core mechanics finished and implemented, and to make wonderful portfolio pieces for all y'all, because at the end of the day, this is a studio production and this is about the team. What do we need? We need 2 to 3 coders familiar with or willing to learn Unreal. 1 to 2 designers who will be working on levels, puzzles, implementation, and helping out with the repo. Everyone will be working on all those things, but designers will handle the majority of it. And then 1 to 2 artists who can work together to create a nice art flow, because art is going to be a very important storytelling as well as just the visuals is what sells the game. Without anything else, Madness in Our Hearts. And remember, the only light at the end of the tunnel is the one you make.
There we go. All right, next we got Star Wave. Addison and Brian.
It's right.
Hello everyone, my name is Addison Buettner, and this is Brian Block. For our Greenlight studio production pitch, we are pitching Star Wave. This project has been made on the side under the umbrella of UAT. Here is a video of our prototype. With this, we have fully established a fully working health bar, an option system for the players to utilize, and portals for the players to traverse through different levels and environments. This environment is called Chiku Village. This is one of the 3 mini levels that will give the player AI to defeat. The AI is still a work in development, so we will need AI developers as well as some designers. The main protagonist can take damage and establish damage with health kits. From here, we can also see that the pistol works and that switching weapons is available. From here, this is the Space Hub. With the Space Hub, this is the main hub for the player to choose which levels to go through. With this is the Son of Apris level. This is a desert-themed level. It's still a work in development, so we will need level designers. With this being said, I hope you enjoy. And this Star Wave project, the main title screen is obviously still a work in progress. And this game will be an action-adventure platformer. So it is a 1 hour to 1.5 hours worth of gameplay, so we have enough time for the whole semester to get it from start to finish. Players will be able to switch between 2 protagonists, Aaron and Jalem, which give themselves different, unique mechanics for the player to go through their obstacles. And here I will be talking more about the mechanics about the tag team system between the 2 characters. From here, we have a fully modeled, rigged, and animated Jalem and Aaron model for the 2 protagonists. Jalem has the ability to use firearms and swords along with drones and hacking, so he will be able to get you through your hacking obstacles, as well as Aaron has the ability to use swords, dark magic, and light magic. Here are our goals and our plans for this semester. Our plans are to fully implement fully working and constructed level designs, so we will need our level designers, as well as AI improvements for our programmers. Attack functions incorporated, and for our goals, of course, adding and adaptations to the gameplay. Of course, with improving the UI and UX work, short cutscenes, and adding more mechanics. For our design, we want to obviously make our UI look nicer. We want the art to be more, we want environment artists for sure, so we can improve our props and whatnot. And for our programming, we have a crafting system that is still needing a little bit more love and more attention too. So we will want our programmers that know how to use Blueprint to use those. And advantages of joining our game. The game is already about 30% completed, so we just need a semester and support from production studios to get us to that full 100%. It has been in production, and we always meet up on Tuesdays night to develop this project we are passionate for and that we do need more support for. It does utilize the Unreal Engine, as you can see, so we will need people who need or want to use Blueprint so we can help establish more programs and so we can establish more gameplay functionality. Yes, and we also welcome advanced and beginners as well. There is room for everyone on this project, and we do and will include everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation.
All right, next we have Boss Simulator with Jacqueline.
Words up. Right. Yeah. You want to click back. Okay. So, who here has ever had a terrible boss? Okay. More hands. Come on. Who here has ever thought that they could do it better?
I'm looking for a replacement.
All right, well, in Boss Simulator, you'll get a chance to do just that as you take on the role of the boss in this first-person simulation management game. So we've united first-person simulation and management by immersing the player and leading their team to success. They will not be just going over spreadsheet after spreadsheet, but they'll also be actively guiding their team through their daily work life. Let's go into this. Right, so this semester, we want to focus on building our interactions with our characters and building our management system as well as our employee system. So you get to do things like interact with the characters, so you go up, click on them, talk to them. You'll get to assign their seating in their office, you get to hire and fire employees, as well as hold meeting. Pretty much you'll get to do everything a boss does. Okay, so we've created some design values for us. So our first one is talk the talk, which is our meaningful interactions with our vibrant cast of characters that will drive our gameplay. Second, we have Mighty Micromanager, which is intuitive management of the office and the employees that presents the player with the full authority over the work environment that they envision. And finally, we have Tricked Out Trade, which is the relevant customization of the office that feeds back into our management system. So as I said earlier, we want to focus really a lot on our two main systems, which is our realistic AI and all of their needs that they have, and our character interaction system to really make each character interaction meaningful, different on different days. And then we also want to focus on some of the core management, which will be our budget, our items and upgrades that affect our characters, and some of the more minute details of managing our personnel. If we have time, we want to work in office customization because it will really give the player like the sense of this is their work environment that they can control. Right, so we're going to be working in Unity and building for PC, and Boss Simulator is going to be produced under Spiral Game Studios, a local indie company here in the Valley. So, okay, all right, so this is our art style. We've lovingly called it our dress code. Over here on the side, you'll see that we're going for more of a 3D low poly with more of those like cell shading to give it a cartoony look. We'll have some screenshots from Fortnite because they do pretty much exactly what we want to do, except for some of the bent objects we want it to look a little cleaner, not so cartoony. But that's really going to bring out the fun and bubbly and vibrant aspect of our game. So this semester we're going to need 3 designers. Primarily we're going to need systems designers and level designers as well as narrative designers. That's because we do have a lot of our core systems are pretty complex. We'll also need 3 programmers. We're going to need gameplay programmers and AI programmers to get our AI and our character interaction system up and going. And also we're going to need artists. So we're going to need concept artists, character artists, and environmental artists to create the level and make it memorable and meaningful for the player. So thank you guys so much for your time and consideration. My name is Jacqueline Hyman. I'm the lead on Boss Simulator. And I'd love to all remind you, just stay cool, stay chill, stay boss.
All right, we got Escape Room AR with Darren and Lindsay next.
Hi.
Your name's not on the list, buddy.
What?
Get it on there next time.
Dang it!
Come on, 2 minutes late.
Oh, frick! I was 2 minutes late to put my name on. Where is it?
It's okay, we'll find it.
There it is.
And Kulana.
Hey, I pronounced my name right?
No, I can't.
So, hello, I'm Darren Palermo,
And I'm Klana Lee.
and this is Escape Room AR. So, here is a small video demonstration of what we've got done so far. We have basic UI setup and a splash screen, and then we've been working on our core gameplay and features. So, we've been working with a ground plane so far, and you could do things like pop down a settings drop-down, edit your settings, and save to player preferences. You have pickup items that add to your inventory, and then you could pull that up in your inspect window, carry it around with you, rotate it, and bring it to the torches to get the answers to puzzles, and then try and solve them. Once you solve the puzzles, you can open the box or escape from the room.
Alright, so overview for our game is a multiplayer escape room. Our platforms we have it on is going to be for mobile, and currently we have a build for Android and soon to have a build for iOS.
As an escape room AR game, we have a heavy focus with user experience. This semester we'd like to focus on our fantasy level, but we will have diverse themes and levels as well. We have a heavy focus in problem solving and narrative design, and then we also have a class-based multiplayer system. So in a standard AR game, standard escape room, you have just regular players. But in our AR escape room, you'll have a specific class, which will allow you to interact with the environment in unique and interesting ways.
Escape, that's funny, it sounds just like the word escape. No, so escape room, what makes ours different? We have greater accessibility, which means in a regular escape room, you have to drive out, pay $25 some odd, and then schedule your time in a room, where with our game, you could set it up anywhere, anytime, and do it for free. We also have interesting interactions between digital and physical content. In a real escape room, if you pulled out a slingshot and tried to hit people, you'd hit other players, break a wall. With AR and digital content, we don't have that risk, and we can do kind of outside-the-box tools and interactions. We could also make sure the room is always set up properly. You can have issues in a real escape room where one of the boxes is just unlocked from the start. Using programming, we can ensure that on startup, everything is always set how it should be. Also, we have our class-based system. This makes sure that no single player overdoes the team. So we don't have any players that solve all the puzzles and leave everyone else. A class-based system makes sure everyone's interaction is meaningful and unique.
So this is our art style. We're going for a realistic fantasy feel. We're using emissives and glows for feedback as well as some animations. We have an AR shadow, which is really cool. We can actually cast shadows like into the room with our objects. And then we do have a number of objects with particle effects as well, and we've got plenty of room for 2D art talent as well.
So I am the programming lead. What I'm looking for is around 3 to 5 programmers with experience in C# for Unity. You're doing mobile development and you are using Vuforia for AR. If you're not familiar with either of those, that's okay. We will guide you through it week 1. And then we are also looking for experience with Photon. We're going to be implementing multiplayer throughout the semester, so that is going to be a big thing we need on the team.
I'm looking forward to working with 3 to 5 artists this semester. We need character artists, prop modelers, and UI and target imaging, which is a 2D thing that we're doing. It's what we use to spawn our objects into the world.
And I'm going to be the lead designer. I'm looking for 2 to 4 designers to help with puzzle design and class balancing, along with narrative design and sound design.
This is our production plan. Within the first milestone, we'd like to onboard everybody, introduce you to Vuforia and AR, so the technology we've been using to do that. We'd like to wrap up the sconce puzzle, which you've seen throughout this presentation, as well as start to white box some basic functionality with our second puzzle and start to plan out our NPCs. Within milestone 2, we'd like to be working on our second puzzle, getting a rough draft of NPCs, and then working in multiplayer, which is very core to our game. Within milestone 3, we're going to be wrapping up our third puzzle and then working on general puzzles which fall outside of the class-based system. Milestone 4, we'll be polishing those out, polishing out our NPCs, and then by the time Thanksgiving break rolls around, we'll be polishing out the game, wrapping up the semester, and preparing for second pitch with production studios.
Alright, so thank you all for coming, and we hope you liked our game. And we'll be out in the comments later if you want to come check us out.
All right, next we got Caliber with Kevin.
You know? Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Olbergard, and I'm going to be pitching Caliber. What is Caliber? Well, Caliber is a virtual reality rhythm shooter that utilizes the full 360 that virtual reality provides. So most of your virtual reality rhythm games usually focus on your 180 field of view and shooting notes in that direction. For this project, I really wanted to capture the idea of a virtual reality environment and use that full 360 area for the players to use. Now, one of the main really interesting things about the game is that the game modes progress based off of your combo in the game. So to kind of go in the game loop and talk about that, when notes come and you shoot them, you reach combos, just like your other rhythm games. Except when you reach those combos, you actually get new weapons that have different spray patterns that change the way of gameplay for your rhythm loop as well. So let's say you start with a hand cannon. If you upgrade from a 50 combo lead, you'll get a second hand cannon and more notes will start appearing depending on what kind of playstyle you're going for. And this also allows for you to kind of turn to different locations on the map depending on where notes are coming from. So this encourages different kinds of playstyles with different kinds of weapons depending on what kind of combo you're on. The art style. So I'm looking for a futuristic kind of art style using a neon color palette with a minimalistic abstract environment, meaning that it's going to focus on mostly particle effects. So I wanted to kind of get that interaction to have more of that kind of focus on the weapons. So I want the weapons to be more complex in the environment around the player, so they have more of a focus on what they're doing as well as the notes that are coming towards them. So what would we be using? So for product management, we'd be using Discord and Trello. For 3D art assets and creation, we'd be using Maya. We'd be building the game in Unreal and having it on PC, and we'll have their source control with Gitkraken. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for 2 to 3 people in each category. Artists, I'm looking for 3D artists that have, knowledge in just making abstract, minimalistic areas as well as complex weapons. They have differing values of importance, but regardless of what that is, you'll be learning how to do both kinds of art styles when you join the project as an artist. And designers and programmers, you're going to be in Unreal, so you're going to be learning how to do blueprinting. Another really cool thing with designers is that since we're using rhythm game knowledge and rhythm game levels, you're going to be learning how to make charts. And charts are level design, are levels for rhythm games. So you'll learn how to actually incorporate those charts inside the game, and I'll show you some of the basics on how charting works. And for programmers, I have some couple of custom blueprints I'm theorizing on how they would work. So I'll work with that together with you guys to see how we can get those blueprints to come to fruition. And again, something that's going to be super important is this Unreal Engine 4 knowledge. Although when you join the project, it's something that you can also learn straight off the bat. So the big 5, this is pretty much the big 5 objectives for this project, something that we would want to complete by the end of the semester. So first, weapon assets. This will be including 4 types of weapons: a hand cannon, a shotgun, a machine gun, and a minigun. Environmental assets, so just the particle effect systems. It's going to be heavy on particle effects, and also special effects as well as that minimalistic environment that designers can also pitch in and help as well. The combo system that goes in effect with the panel system, which is just where the player is facing at each given time where notes are coming, and as well as level creation. So again, with that rhythm design kind of vibe, designers are going to be learning how to kind of chart those rhythm maps coming at the player. And that is the presentation. Thank you all for listening.
All right, and last we got BioEngine, Jacob.
Hello, I'm V. Griffin. This is my project BioEngine. BioEngine is a 2D puzzle game set in a futuristic environment where you are an amateur mechanic making augmentations for various customers. Customers will come in and give vague requests about what they're wanting out of augments, and you then have to turn around and use your recipes and available parts to make augmentations for them. The game is going to focus on quality versus quantity, and making sure if you want to make low quality augmentations for multiple people, or make really high quality augmentations for a few people. Customer interactions and customer personalities will help influence some of the puzzles, as well as making them more difficult by some customers not liking what you put into the augments, but not really fully telling you what they're wanting, and so kind of you having to work with them and try to get them to tell you what you want. Government regulation is another puzzle influence. Over the course of the multiple days that you'll be working, the government will offer regulations that are saying you can't sell this unless the customer has proper documents. The art style is a high-resolution pixel art, as the previous slides also say. I'm going for a more noir feel with desaturated colors with vibrant accents.
with most of the characters looking the same unless they have some importance, and then very few color variations, with the personality being what sets them apart. This is a customer reception screen mock-up for the UI. This is where the customer will come up, you'll communicate with them, and then take their orders, receive their documentation, and give them their augmentations. And this is a mock-up of the augmentation creation screen. This is where you will actually build the augmentations that they request for using the recipes that you get. I'm going to be building the project in Unity, shooting for a PC build, although mobile is not completely out of the question if I can get a prototype working. The goals are probably 2 15-week cycles. The first one focusing mainly on core gameplay, getting different customers in, different augments, and getting the regulations down, and making sure that there is some variability in the different ways to play. Team needs, I do already have a program and an artist helping me out. The artist on the art style slide was Natalie Johnson. She helped me out really making that for me. I would need a lot more artists. The game is very art heavy as well as program heavy, and a couple more designers to help me come up with some of the puzzles that they'll have to solve. Thank you.
All right, well, that's all we got. So, what we're going to do, remember, we're going to take a break. How long?
So we will come back at 2 p.m. for what's going to happen for the reveal of after the judging. So you'll have between now and then to go out to lunch, and also leads. We have some playtesting forms over here. You can grab some, make photocopies of those. You can show off your final builds to other people in the studio, get some final feedback for, especially those of you that are going to be continuing to either pitching for studio or developing out of studio. So those forms are up here, and we'll meet back in here at 2 p.m. for the reveal from the judging.
All right, go Tees.
Oh, so the
Shut the screen down.